Well, bakers, the weather is heating up and it's s'more season. So I came up with the most incredible summer cookie. It is a s'mores chocolate chip cookie. It is a lovely graham cracker dough with chocolate chip and marshmallows. It is so good, perfect for kids, grown-ups, everybody this summertime. So we're gonna start out by making our dough. It's really simple. All you need is a bowl and a wooden spoon. We don't need any special equipment. In my bowl here, I have some white sugar. And into this, I'm going to add my wet ingredients. So here is some oil. I like to use vegetable oil. If you want, you can also use a coconut oil or a different flavored oil that you like. I'm going to add in a room temperature egg. I like to have my eggs at room temperature so they combine so much better. And then some lovely runny honey. Runny honey is a key ingredient in giving you that kind of, traditional graham cracker flavor. So all you want to do is just mix those ingredients together. Lovely, so those are our wet ingredients. Now, dry ingredients. Here I have some all-purpose flour. Now into this, we're going to add a little bit of whole wheat flour. Now, the flavor that you get from a graham cracker is kind of like that nutty, wheaty flavor, and you get that from traditionally it was graham flour, which is very close to whole wheat flour, and it still gives you that lovely kind of like, that meaty kind of flavor that the cookie has. It's just so much more pronounced than just using all-purpose flour. It has so much more depth. So we add our whole wheat flour in there. Then we add a little bit of salt, super important in our cookies. We add cinnamon, which we all know and love from traditional graham crackers. And our raising agent, baking soda. Now, some of my favorite cookie doughs, my triple chocolate cookie dough, my internet's, best chocolate chip cookie, all of those that have a lovely crinkle on top and they're kind of gooey in the middle, those are done with baking powder and not baking soda. Baking powder gives you a lovely gooey cookie and it gives you the really nice crinkles on top also. So it doesn't make a cakey cookie, it makes a gooey cookie, and that's what I love. Now you just want to mix those ingredients together. Even just the smell from the ingredients smells like a graham cracker. So I formulated this dough specifically from scratch to make it taste like a graham cracker. The honey, the cinnamon, the whole wheat flour, everything to mimic that s'mores graham cracker flavor. So just add your dry ingredients into your wet and stir to combine. So I am a huge s'mores fan. If you go to biggerbolderbaking.com, you're going to see s'mores pies, s'mores bars, homemade, ice cream bars that are s'mores. I go all in on s'mores. I just love the combo of the graham crackers, the marshmallow, the chocolate, be it frozen or soft in a cupcake, or my absolute favorite is my s'mores bars. They're gooey, they're thick, they're rich with chocolate. Like, definitely check those out. Just mix that dough by hand. Now let's add in the stars of the show, mini marshmallows. Now I will tell you that you want mini marshmallows for this recipe, not big marshmallows cut down into small pieces. Just makes life so much easier. George, my son, already had his hands in these this morning. He made himself a little sandwich between 2 marshmallows. He put some chocolate chips, and that was part of his breakfast. So that's what's happening in my household. Speaking of chocolate chips, here I have my chocolate chips. You can use bittersweet, semi-sweet. I wouldn't use milk because I just feel like it's a bit too sweet. I would definitely use semi-sweet or bittersweet. So I have been known to say that my preference is not to use chocolate chips in cookies, depending on the cookie. So this cookie is the exception. I want the chocolate chips to stay in one place. I want them to not pool, and I'm using really good chocolate chips. So for this cookie, chocolate chips are A-okay. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, check out my video about using chocolate chips versus chocolate bars in cookies. It has quite a lot of views. So just mix together that dough. It's a little bit of a drier dough. And with all those extra add-ins, what I like to do is get my hand in there and kind of squish it together to form a dough. And there we have it. S'more cookie dough. So some doughs I do recommend chilling because they can be quite soft and they would benefit from it. You can totally chill this for a few hours or up to a few days. Because this dough isn't super soft, you can scoop it and bake it off straight away, so that's what I'm gonna do. So to scoop your cookies, I like to use a tablespoon measuring scoop. And when you say a heaped tablespoon, it means the same amount on top that's in the measuring spoon, which is 2 tablespoons, one on the bottom, one on the top. Mine might be a bit generous there. So that's what we want, and that's our cookie. This dough is a little bit crumbly to scoop, so just kind of mush it together with your hand. And I would say just for aesthetics, make sure that you have a little bit of chocolate on top and some marshmallows sticking out just to make it look extra, just like this. So if you have kids in your house this summertime who are out of school, just like the way I do, baking is such a fantastic activity. Making cookies, cupcakes, my mug cakes, anything at all. It gets them measuring, it gets them, you know, doing a job from start to finish. It helps with their motor skills. It helps with their concentration. They have to, you know, sit and wait and be patient. So when they print off the recipe and make the baked good, they can then color in their recipe, which is just really fun. I like to have George color in the recipe while we're waiting for something to bake, and it kind of distracts him. Lovely. Don't be afraid to go back over and embellish them with a few more marshmallows and chocolate chips on top. I'm just baking off 12 right now. With the remaining dough, I'm actually going to scoop it and freeze it, and then I can bake it off whenever we have kids over, whenever I'm going to a party or a barbecue. It's a really fantastic cookie to bring as a gift. Okay, lovely. These look fantastic. They're ready to go into the oven. So bake your cookie at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius for only roughly around 8 minutes or so. You want this cookie to be soft and gooey in the middle, so you want to be really careful not to over bake it. Also, a personal tip, I like to bake off 1 tray of cookies at a time to make sure that you get like the perfect bake. So my timer went off. These look and smell amazing. The one thing I'm going to do while they're still hot from the oven is a pan bang. Now, the reason that I do this is so the cookie kind of settles and the chocolate kind of softens a little bit, and you get that lovely crinkle on top that you can see. It just kind of helps the cookie to like kind of get a little bit gooey in the middle, especially when it's a softer cookie. So these look fantastic. I'm delighted with these. These cookies scream summertime to me. They're fun, they're easy to make, they're dotted with lovely chocolate chips and marshmallows. They are perfect for the entire family. What I like to do is eat these when they're warm, straight from the oven, and pour a big glass of cold milk. There's not one person in your family who would turn that down. This summertime, up your baking game, and rather than serve a traditional s'more, go all out and make these s'more chocolate chip cookies. This cookie is ooey, gooey, chewy, and absolutely delicious. I really hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching, and stick around. I've got loads more videos for you to check out. I'll see you back here again really soon.